nations which have experienced uprisings since that first Arab Spring moment in early 2011. Surely the message of all of this is that street protest and toppling governments into a form of chaos has been very negative for the nations of the Arab world. And what Mohammed bin Salman seems to be saying is, I know we have to transform ourselves, we have to modernize, we have to change, and I will be that agent of change. You call him an autocrat, you've compared him to Putin and Saddam and others, but surely the message of the last few years is that's the best hope an Arab nation like Saudi Arabia has, to have a leader who is prepared to use his power for genuine reform and change.
Not by choice, by fact, by de facto. And he is the best choice for Saudi Arabia. That's what the Saudi people look up to and wish him all luck. So he has to succeed. That's what will decide the future of Saudi Arabia, and also his future is for him to succeed. The people of Saudi Arabia are very much believing in Mohammed bin Salman today. He hardly has any opposition, or let's say that he hardly has any serious opposition. So he has all the floor for himself for the next few years to implement his plan.
All right, let's get down to the detail of that plan. You referred to the Vision 2030. It has various elements to it. Let's start with the economy. He is saying he wants to develop a truly post-oil Saudi Arabian economy, investing massive amounts in technology. He's talking about this new city he wants to build in the northwest, which some are calling a robot city. Such will its reliance be on new technologies. He wants a massive infrastructure spend. Are you suggesting to me this is all fantasy, that he can't deliver on this?
No, he can build the cities, but will the cities succeed? We already built 2 cities right now in Saudi Arabia that haven't succeeded, and he has to deal with them. They were built by King Abdullah Financial City in Riyadh, and King Abdullah Industrial City in the West Coast.
Yeah, if I may interrupt, I've actually been to one of them. I've seen the grand ambition. Admittedly, the city was pretty empty when I was there, but nonetheless, and it's all about the ability of Saudi Arabia to transform itself from a fairly sort of crude oil economy to something that is fit for purpose in the 21st century as a global leading economy. And surely that ambition has to be Saudi Arabia's future.
I see 2 faults on the vision, and I wish I could express those views in a Saudi local newspaper, and we need to do that in Saudi Arabia. Fault number 1, it is styled a top-down approach, and that will not work for a country as big as Saudi Arabia. It will work for a small country, for a city-state like Dubai, like Doha, like Abu Dhabi, but not for a country as big as Saudi Arabia. The other fault, it is not based about jobs for the Saudis. We, the Saudis, are very much dependent or addicted to foreign labor. We need to free us from foreign labor, so we will resume the culture of jobs, and Saudis will go back to work. There are 4 million Saudis who need jobs today, not 2 million as the government suggests. The actual number is 4 million Saudis, and every year 250,000 young Saudis go to the job market. I think that is his biggest task, and he should spend more time at this problem rather than building a new city in Saudi Arabia.
But as you say, the young people appear to be with him, overwhelmingly with him right now. And one reason for that is not just because he talks about this new economic proposition, but he also talks the language of fundamental social change, not least for women in Saudi Arabia. You know, he's decreed that all women will be able to drive legally come the summer of 2018. He's giving them places on the Consultative Shura Council. They're going to be free to attend sports events, and another little symbol. I mean, this is very important stuff, isn't it? He's signaling that Saudi Arabia's culture, its social life, it's fundamentally changing.
Very much, and I campaigned for it, and many other writers campaigned for it. When I was an editor of a paper, it was an issue that we were pushing for almost every single day. But now we have put that behind us, and we are moving forward, and he's enjoying all the support from the young people. He needs to look at the unemployment issue. That is the ticking bomb. He has to provide jobs for millions of Saudis. And I don't think that will be done from this top-down approach by building new cities, but rather starting from scratch and bringing back the culture of work to the Saudi society. The culture of work among Saudis is dead because of our addiction to foreign labor over the last 40 years. Almost every single job is done by a foreigner, and we need to be free from that.
What about the religious element to all of this? Because again, in a keynote speech just last month, Mohammed bin Salman pledged, and I'm using his words now, to return Saudi Arabia to moderate Islam. Now, there's a very complicated relationship between the rulers of the kingdom and the leading clerics and the religious authorities in Saudi Arabia. Can he deliver on this shift of the religious tenor and tone of the kingdom?
Yes, he can, because of two reasons. Number one, it is the course of history. Young people are becoming more and more moderate. Number two, he only needs to unplug government support to radicalism. Radicalism was tolerated by the government. The radicalism in Saudi Arabia that crept into the Saudi curriculum, the Saudi educational system, the Saudi mosque, it was allowed, tolerated by the government. If the government pull out the plug, those clergies are dependent on the government. They will go back home and seek their own safety.